want to teach you how to lead like Mandela. Nelson Mandela was considered to be one of the greatest leaders of all time. And when he was asked about how he did it, what he knew, how he learned how to lead in this way, he told the following story. He said, when I was a young man, I used to go with my father to tribal meetings. And I used to observe how he did it. And the first thing that I noticed was that they used to sit in a circle. There was no one at the head or the bottom. All of them sat in a circle. And as they were sitting in the circle, each person would have a chance to speak. And he said, I would watch my father while somebody else was speaking and notice how intently he listened to what people were saying. And then I noticed that my father never ever spoke himself until the very, very end. He was the last person to have his say. And often what he said was very considered in relation to what other people had said also. So he really paid attention to what other people had said, and he'd listened to what other people had said. And he had allowed his ideas and his sense of what should be done or shouldn't be done to be affected by that listening. Stephen Covey, who wrote the book 7 Habits for Highly Effective People, spoke about this as well. He had this little phrase that said, seek first to understand and then to be understood. Now there's a couple of things about listening that are really, really important in this context. The first is that we need to listen with a very focused mind. Focused on what somebody else is saying, what it is that we think they mean from that. Instead of what we normally do, which is the moment somebody opens their mouth to talk about what it is that they're thinking, our own mind goes off and counters that argument or comes up with something else completely. The other story, the story of our own, wants to come into kind of a convincing mode. Let me tell you actually why you're wrong or why you're right or whatever it may be. And so we have to learn to listen with an open mind, with a clear mind. And when that mind of ours goes, boom, oh yeah, I want to argue with this, we need to put that aside and say, not now. We'll talk about you later. Right now, this is what's on the table. This is what I'm paying attention to. And another trick with that is not to be nodding agreement while somebody's talking and not to be shaking your head while somebody's talking. Because again, that's bringing your influence and your impact into what it is they're saying. So they can't, if you're the most respected person in the room, potentially they can't get out what it is that they're saying if you're busy shaking your head. They can't necessarily make themselves really properly understood if you appear to already understand them. So it's to keep still and just really pay attention and listen. And the only thing that you do in terms of speaking is to really try to clarify what it is that they're doing, what it is that they're talking about. There's a technique called active listening. If you've never heard of it, it's worth looking up. And it's really all about this. It's all about how to listen in a way that really allows somebody to express themselves fully. What a great technique. If you want to be a really good leader, this is probably the ultimate in leadership techniques. So thanks to Nelson Mandela, our lesson for today. Have a beautiful day.